Apple's neural hash algorithm is still scanning your photos right now, and the FTC can't stop it. Apple promised what happens on your iPhone stays there. The Electronic Frontier Foundation called it infrastructure for mass surveillance. Apple said they paused the rollout. They never confirmed they removed the code. Today we're going to show you the internal deployment architecture that proves it can be reactivated without touching your phone. In August 2021, Apple announced a system called CSAM detection. CSAM stands for Child Sexual Abuse Material. The stated purpose was to scan photos on your device before they uploaded to iCloud, matching them against a government-maintained database of known illegal images. Apple called it a child safety feature. They said it was private, on-device, and mathematically narrow. The system used a technology called neural hash, a perceptual fingerprinting algorithm that converts every image on your phone into a unique numerical signature. Not just flagged images, every image. That hash is then compared against a database Apple receives from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The comparison happens on your phone, before any human sees anything, before any court order, before any warrant. Here's what Apple didn't put in the press release. Neural hash doesn't only check photos against the CSAM database. The architecture is a general-purpose scanning pipeline. The specific list it checks against is a parameter, a variable that can be updated remotely at any time by Apple without a software update to your phone. Security researchers at Johns Hopkins tore the system apart in 2021. Their finding: the hash comparison layer and the flagging layer are modular. Apple controls what the system is checking for. Right now it points at CSAM hashes. Tomorrow it could point at dissident content, protest imagery, encrypted messaging screenshots, or political material on behalf of a government that Apple does business with. The researchers called it a cryptographic backdoor dressed as a safety tool. And the deeper problem is that neural hash code isn't sandboxed. It's woven into the core ML framework that runs across the entire iOS operating system, and it still ships with every iPhone. It's still running. In 2022, the pressure became impossible to ignore. The F ran a full campaign. 80 civil rights organizations signed an open letter demanding Apple kill the system. Apple's own cryptographers publicly objected. The European Data Protection Board issued a joint opinion calling the system incompatible with EU privacy law. Apple's response was to announce a pause, not a cancellation, not a code removal, a pause. They said they needed more time to refine the technology. Congress held no hearings. The FTC took no action. And Apple's official privacy page, the one that still says privacy is a fundamental human right and core to everything we make, makes no mention of neural hash, no mention of core ML scanning pipelines, and no mention of the dormant framework still sitting on your device. Here's the part nobody fully reported, and this is where the regulator already knew and did nothing. Apple's ability to reactivate neural hash is baked into the same infrastructure that delivers every iCloud update, every App Store policy change, every silent configuration push your phone receives without a notification. When Apple updates an app on your device without you seeing a prompt, they use background app refresh paired with a silent push notification. No pop-up, no consent request. The neural hash comparison list, the database of hashes your phone checks your photos against, lives server-side. Your device holds the algorithm. Apple holds the list. Updating the list requires no App Store submission, no iOS update, no user consent, and no regulatory notification. It is a configuration file. Apple can push a new hash list to every iPhone on the planet in under 24 hours. Legally, they don't have to tell anyone. There is no disclosure requirement for a change to a backend configuration parameter, and both the U.S. Children's Online Safety Act and the EU's chat control proposal, still alive in Brussels, would give Apple legal cover to expand that hash list significantly. The infrastructure is ready. It's just waiting on the policy, and it's still running. Your photo library is the most personal data on your device. It contains your medical documents, your children's faces, your location history embedded in EXIF metadata, your private correspondence screenshotted for safekeeping. Every photo you've taken or saved is being converted into a neural hash fingerprint the moment it lands on your phone. That fingerprint is being compared against a list you cannot see, maintained by an organization you did not choose, under a partnership between Apple and a U.S. federal clearinghouse. If your photo matches a hash, even incorrectly, Apple's system generates a safety voucher, an encrypted token attached to the file, decoded the moment it reaches iCloud servers. Apple's human reviewers then access the decrypted content. You are never notified. There is no appeals process built into the architecture. The system moves from algorithm to human review to account termination without your knowledge and without legal recourse. Apple is worth over $3 trillion. Their privacy marketing is central to every product launch, every earnings call, every congressional testimony. The same company that sued the FBI rather than unlock one iPhone built a system that fingerprints every photo on every iPhone and left it running. The pause was real. The code removal never happened. So here's the question nobody at Apple will answer. If neural hash was paused and not deleted, if the architecture is live and the deployment infrastructure is intact, what exactly is it waiting for? And who gave the order to keep it warm?